Poetry is not what we do. Poetry is who we are. We live poetry. We eat poetry. We make love.
This love is 3D. We're at the confluence of technology. Our souls meet like two streams, sharing each other's dreams.
For no one, so why should we wait for time? Life's a continuous race. You can't slow down, man, even when you see the finish line.
Where were you when I sat in the labyrinths of the dark night, cooking words like a chef making food?
To change the words to eat and dress in a style that define you without thinking what the round table people would think
my
about
ink
you.
Don't go astray like bodyguard son. They squander all my thoughts inside this brain bank. It don't lose guard.
Why do the old folks think they know everything? You fail to understand you're not living the times I'm living in. You can see from the start, with 30 years apart. I have new blood while you're still sustained by an old heart.
Without which you would have never existed.
At the touch of love, everyone becomes a poet. My name is Daniel Ekehua. Welcome to Word Up, your favorite spoken word poetry show. Stay tuned and we'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. Today's show will be showcasing performances that will thrill and excite you. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
And I said, Nala Joe, I no believe you. Seeing is no longer believing. Tasting is believing. After all, salt and sugar are the same color. So the difference is not in the sight, but in the taste. So come over here, let me kiss them to confirm what you say. She said, my lips like sugar. And I said, you go catch jedi jedi oh. Now sugar they cause jedi jedi. But you're in luck. My own lips is like alomo. So if I use my alomo lips to kiss your sugar lips, it will ensure our health is balanced and therefore our lives will be enhanced. She said, my lips like sugar. And I said, lead me not into temptation. I shall find it myself. But really, your lips is probably becoming the center of attraction. And I think we can do a little of lips on lips action that can lead to gyration and vibration, giving us that ultimate satisfaction. So come over here. Come closer. Don't be shy. Let us together go and knock on the door of temptation. Thank you. I once met a lady looking so fabulous. She was wearing a short gown that was very scandalous. She said her name was Precious. And I said, my name now Lulu. And I ain't no king from Zulu. But you can call me Olulu the Marvelous. And you're looking so fine, lovely, and delicious. Can we start a relationship and go to be serious? She said, no problem, Olulu the Marvelous. As long as you're very generous, I do not easily get jealous. But friends and family want me to be cautious. That being with Precious can be dangerous. She was notorious for me promiscuous. But I ignored that I wanted to be cautious because I was in love with Precious. So I got serious with Precious. 1 month after I started to date Precious, I went to pick her up from work and I saw a man in the car park kissing Precious. I screamed, "Ha, Precious! This is ridiculous!" She said, "Relax, Olu the Marvelous. This is my cousin Ignatius. He was only giving me mouth-to-mouth resuscitation because I felt faint and was almost falling unconscious." I thought the reason sounded ridiculous, but then I believed because I was in love with Precious. 1 month later, I went clubbing with my flatmate Theophilus. When we entered the club, we saw a man in the club romancing Precious. I screamed, "Ah, Precious, this is scandalous!" She said, "Relax, only the Marvelous. This is my doctor, Erastus." It was feeling my body's temperature and my heartbeat because my day had been very stressful and tedious. I was furious because these excuses sounded dubious. But after 3, 4, 5 kisses from Precious, I believe because I was in love with Precious. 2 weeks to our wedding, I came home early from work to see Precious in bed with my flatmate Theophilus and his cousin Cornelius. Mogbe. I screamed, "Ah, Precious, this is sacrilegious!" She said, "Relax, Olu the Marvelous. I only wanted to see if the bed Theophilus was big, strong, and spacious." Yay! I was furious because all the excuses are fictitious and it's not obvious. Precious is notorious for me promiscuous. Being with her can be dangerous. She can give me a disease that's contagious. So I thought long, hard, and furious. and I ran away from town before Precious made my life to be disastrous. Thank you.
I spend my money every day on top woman. I don't care if she walk away to another man. I am ready to be your mugu, your persona maga for life.
Thank you very much. For those of you who do not know, Olulu is the founder of this platform. What up? Precious. Did you guys notice how his eyes were like this throughout? What's that about, Olulu? Sexy eyes. Pressure. Ladies and gentlemen, we're still talking about new voices. We're still talking about talents. We're still talking about the new generation of poetry. We're still proud to be associated with the journey of the new poets here in Nigeria.
So, ladies and gentlemen, at the last Spoken Word Slam, War of Words Season 2, this guy, I was tempted to say this nigga. Sorry, this guy blew us away. You know, it was fantastic. We didn't see him coming, and he just took us by storm. So, ladies and gentlemen, with a resounding applause, put your hands together for Chika Jones.
Why I love it so much.
Yeah, in case you don't know, he actually was the winner of that poetry slam. So, the floor is yours.
My name is Chika Jones. I'm going to be performing 2 pieces. Yesterday was Valentine. I spent the entire day in a bus coming down here. But I'm going to dedicate this to my girlfriend whom I left in school. Okay. But yesterday, somewhere in Lagos, a Danfo driver proposed to the love of his life for the first time. Don't ask me how I know, but I'm pretty sure it happened. So I'm going to be the Danfo driver now. Come closer, Nike. No, this is not another of my unrefined cotton songs. You see, I met Olulu the poet, and he gave me some ideas. I put in my own words. I am not that ignorant, so I shall do this properly on bended knee. Before I die, I want to live happily ever after. And while I may never get to hold your love, before I die, I will still like to taste it. Before I see my last lasma, I want to see my name entwined with your name. To owe money for the hall we shall rent, for I cannot wait for the millions. We have to walk down the aisle before I die. Before I take my last trip and drink a little too much. Before I take that bend too sharply and send my wretched self to a drunk grave. I want to put your picture beside my staring and stare into your black eyes while waiting in traffic. Before they die, I want to take you back home to see my parents. Before we leave, your firm, full breasts and well-rounded buttocks will be the talk of every palm wine joint. I will hold my head high amongst my village friends, the local boy that married a queen. Before I die, I want to show you that the transportation business is good. New clothes every weekend. And in the yard, the only flat screen will be ours. I want to count your different tribal marks and show you that our different ethnicities is no barrier. Before I lose my last fight with Agberos, I want to own you. I want to wake up to the sound of your snores and watch you stand watching me as I wash my Farragon, for I know you'll be the proud, graceful wife of a Danfo driver. Marry me, Nike, before I die. For if you do not, I shall haunt these Lagos roads mercilessly, wreaking havoc on my loveless soul. What do you say? Thank you very much. This piece is titled Dear Bidemi. Okay, let's go. Dear Bidemi, you must be surprised I know your name. Yes, despite the heights, I found out all the same. Yet, I write this absent smile. For I know at least one way better to tell you I have broken your silent fetter. You see, when I saw you that first day, I stepped forward. No ploy. But while you smiled at my words, you were quiet. Silent, really coy. For nights after that, I stared at moons and woke up in the late afternoons. I had a strange fever. It took some courage to go to your house, sit in the parlor, and stammer my greetings to your dad. But when I left that day, my heart was bleeding like the vanquished in Rome. For your father had told me you could not hear my words, nor listen to my heart thoughts, that you only decipher the golden sounds of silence. Then he patted me on the back and sent me home. I have learned a lot ever since, for I refused to let this love die, starved by inability to communicate. Day after day, I sat in that sign language class. Sat quietly as I learned the words, brother, sister, friend. Yet, this was not what I needed. I knew this was something pure, new. When finally they learned that sentence on which my entire being rested, I ran out of the class. I flew down the streets, practicing the words, lest they leave my fingers. I floated up the stairs to your house, only to be hit by the huge padlock in front of your door. No forwarding address, no further information. The cosmos conspired to take you away that very day. I have been waiting ever since. Asked your neighbors a million times. I have finally decided to do that which I swore never to do. I have written you. But these words still remain too golden for paper and ink, so I shall keep them till if ever you return. But if you can, look closely at this paper as I say, I'll always love you. Thank you.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for the winner of War of Words Season 2, Chika Jones. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Abuja, all the way from the FCT, give it up for Dike Ogu Chukwumerije.
DK is my name. I didn't know this business about black belt taekwondo. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I want to do a couple of poems. Olulu has asked me specifically to do the tribute to Achebe, so I will do that at some point. Let me just start with playful things. When I was at university, a young budding poet, people used to laugh at me. There goes the poet. You and this your poetry. You know they say within Nigeria. Between Bese and poverty, who get time for this Nigeria? But come the night before the day, that day of Valentine, so many of them will come my way. I bet bros, get work with you. He get this girl I've been they like. I don't know how to tell her. I know say tomorrow na Valentine. If you write me one poem, she dey scatter my head. I no go lie. I just don't know what to do. If you tell her say I love am there and this thing no get part 2. As I dey waka for road, na how they think na so I take enter gutter. If you tell her say I fit do anything to make us dey together, like J and J for JJ Okocha, na so I want make we do. Do chingom love, monkey banana bros. I hope so they feel me. She dey make my heart do something. Are you gonna know how you go take right out? Because all I know is that I'm always thinking of how I go take block am. Now she fine pass, no be today. See face they shine like tosh. I tell you, bros, if no be say, I go swear that again and winch. She don't winch my mind, Columbia finish. Don't put down for the poem. Just help your guy put in some polish, but I need that babe tomorrow. So they finish their story, start walking away, then they get to my door and pause. Now I have to strain just to hear them say, let's keep this thing between us. And off they go, these macho men that rhyme with twisted tongues, and leave me wanting to ask them, who is the poet between us? Swag and song in rugged chest, hid beneath upturned collars. But love makes one of all of us, for love makes us all poets. Thank you. Let me do another one I like to do. There's something playful as well. Some of you may have heard it. I had it with me a moment ago. My head bent over my ababiyo, trying to read but having some trouble memorizing my periodic table. It was safe and sound, as in my head I tried to remember what I just read, talking aloud, because that's how I cram whenever I'm studying for an exam. Hydrogen first, then helium, then lithium and beryllium. Then there is, I think it's boron. And after that one, I'm quite sure it's carbon. The next one is easy. I know it's oxygen. And following it, I'm sure it's nitrogen. What is the ninth element? Remember. I just can't remember. So I opened my eyes to look in the text. Saw that fluorine was next on the list. Then neon, sodium, then magnesium. The next one was easy, it was just aluminium. Like that's how I was going, just quietly cramming, just minding my business and quietly learning. I had it with me, still safe and secure as I closed my eyes to remember some more. Silicon, yes. Phosphorus next. Sulfur and chlorine follow on the list. What is the name of that one? That's when I heard someone whisper, argon. I opened my eyes in shock and surprise, and there you were standing with crystal clear eyes. A smile on your lips, a hand on your hips, your beauty as rare as a lunar eclipse. I couldn't stop staring in awe and amazement. No words could have paid you a better compliment. I knew you were speaking, your lips were moving, so I quickly willed life back into my hearing. My name is Amaka. I see you around. I find it so funny how you talk out loud. But keep up the good work. You inspire me. Good work. Good luck with that test, you said quietly. Then you turned around and continued walking. Carried on going where you have been going. I couldn't stop staring till you left the building. It was only then I could breathe again. I sat in my chair and stared at the ceiling. 2 days to continue reading. It had been with me just a moment ago, safe as I studied my Ababiyo. But then you came and crossed my path, and now I think I've just lost my heart. Finally, the tribute to Chinua Achebe. Asị m ka m bịa malụ m ife kwa bụ eziokwu. Asị na ogo na abụ nna anyị ukwu. Ọnwa ada atụ egwu. Igirigi ada. Nna anyị. Is it true? Is it true that the calabash broke and I'll no longer drink from it? That the sound of the drums will no longer move your lips to sing because the owl was heard in the trees last night. And Odogwanya Meh, the terrible masquerade, was seen in the market this morning. They said it stopped at your door. Nani, is it true? Is it true that your name was called in the night? Somebody said they saw you across the river, on the river, and they called to you, but you did not answer. Nani, is it true? Is it true that your footprints were seen on the dusty path to the farm, but the searchers went and they could not find you? Only the lingering scent under the palm tree and the sound of a man whistling, but fading into the bush. Was it you, Nani? Is it true? Did the wind that blew last night break the heart of the earth? Did it hide the moon? Did it blow out the stars? Is this the sound of the river weeping? What is this silence? Did it fall? Did the Iroko fall last night? Then let me dance. Maka mberedekeji amadi. You cannot follow a lion with tears. Tell those who are wailing in the night to be silent. An elephant has passed this way. I can see his tracks. Deep, like the gorges left by a rampaging river. It was he who took our stories and wrote them on the underbelly of the heavens, that the farthest ends of the earth may know the name. Okonkwo. Okwejejemba stood up for us in this contest for dignity, answered those who said we were savages without history, took the language of the oppressor, bent it to the service of the oppressed. Tell them to be silent. It is this man that has passed. Stood up for us in this contest for dignity, answered those who spoke with bullets and bombs. Still he stood in their way, wielding nothing but words, the shield of conviction, his faith in ideas. Tell them to be silent. It is this man that has passed. And in his wake, let the sun rise to the sound of a flute, to the steady beat of an unbroken drum, to the thunder of guns, to the chanting of warriors. NGO, any alarm, that death may know it has swallowed an eagle, Ugonabo Gidi, but it will never swallow his voice. Nani, it is true. Mwajabe, no. Dike kaleo, odogo mada, mwajabe, jabe no do. Go in peace.
It's not an easy skill to learn. I've been practicing it for many years.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dikagu Chukwumerije, man. A round of applause.
Let the contest begin.
It's quite amazing how I was able to feel different things at the same time. Did anybody feel that joy and happiness and sorrow and all at the same time in one performance? I think he deserves another one. That was beautiful.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, we would be closing. I usually don't like this part, but somehow I have to go home. Mm-hmm.
Remember, we're still going to introduce the founder of Word Up, who will be giving us the vote of thanks, and then we'll be thanking our sponsors and everybody else who has made this possible. So please stay behind for that. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome on stage Olulu.
What up, people? Basically, we'd like to thank everybody that supported us, from Hits on TV to Galaxy TV, Silverbird TV, Stephen Oshilaja Media Production, Reverb Sound Company, DJ Swags, Maximus Media, all the poets from all over Nigeria, and without, because poetry itself is nothing without the audience. If there's nothing, because what's the use of talking when nobody's listening? What's the use of performing when nobody's watching? What's the use of dancing when nobody's appreciating? So poetry is nothing without everybody here, without the audience. So we'd like to thank you very much for coming. God bless you. Safe journey.
Thank you very much, Olulu. Once again, I'm Duvi, and that's Don Fabrino.
Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Remember, you can follow us at WordUp411. You can visit our website, wordup411ng.com. We've got the blog where we continue to showcase poetry. We love poetry, and we research on poetry, so you don't have to. See you next time. Bye.
Right. Wow, we have come to the end of yet another exciting and thrilling episode of Word Up. For more information on poetry in Nigeria, visit the web address on your screen below, and also follow us on Twitter. Till we see you again, this is Daniel saying peace.